Hello and welcome to Candy's Crafty Closet. If you have never been over here before, I make all kinds of different paper things, and most of them have some kind of journal theme in mind. So this one is definitely one of those. I made this beautiful little one-sheet travel folio that is Alice in Wonderland themed. I am actually doing a class on a different journal. So really quickly, I want to do a little flip through of this little travel journal and show you what we're going to be making today. So I did make a little closure here. We have this that comes out and you can journal on. The back is blank. You can do whatever you want to with it. Slide that back down in there. And we have the little Alice in Wonderland right there. And she is looking at her little bed of roses. Open up this way and there is a little library themed card here. This one was actually from a book lovers collection, but it had the teacups on it and it has a little rabbit. So you're going to see this paper in red and in the black. We have that card there. This one here, you can pull out. You have the little mouse, I forget his name, and on the back you can decorate it how you would like. And I did the whole little off center for this one because I wanted it to look whimsical, and then I wasn't sure once it was on there. Open up your flap one more time and now you can see all of these flaps here. So this here flips down and I have a few cards stuck right here. I have a little bitty playing card, and then this beautiful little bunny, and then take some more tea, a little bookmark, and you can journal here or put pictures, whatever you would like. And then I have a little card here that says, "I'm not really crazy, my reality is just different than yours," and I really liked that with the bunny. And then you flip down, have a little coffee themed card here and another sticker, a little tab. This here had some teacups on it. And then this here is a little booklet that was made out of the red version of this. And I put a little teacup, some pretty paper, some like just brown paper, some lined paper, a little bit of graphing paper, and then we made a pocket here. This is a reading log that you could keep track of all of your favorite books on. And then this over here, you open. Moving over to this side, it has a little side pocket here, and once you remove this tag, it says "Open Me," and there's the little door lock. I don't have another one of those stickers, so I don't think we're going to be able to recreate this, but we'll do something. We'll do something fun, some little element right there. This flips open one more time. There's a tag here that says "Fall into a Good Book." I thought that was fitting because this is book themed and she fell down the rabbit hole. And so I put some playing cards and rabbits here. And then there is the Cheshire Cat and it says "Drink me. Would you like an adventure or some tea first?" And then another place to journal there. And then once you're done exploring, you can just boop, 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 boop. And there you go. So we are not going to do the exact same thing, but pretty close to it. So let's see how quickly we can get this done because I do not have forever. It is already late. I'm gonna retie that later. Okay, I have brought in all of my scraps and everything, and we are going to try to use up some of the stuff that I have already cut down for like pockets and stuff. But we are going to use this 12 by 12 as our base. Let's back up a bit. I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. We're going to scooch it down where y'all can see the measurements. And we are going to score this way first. and I want to get it right up to this crease here. I put my fingernail in it and just like kind of press it up against it to make sure I'm in the right spot. We're going to take our scoring tool and we are going to score at 8. Okay, now turn your paper upside down. I'm saying that this is upside down. I know it's kind of hard to tell on this paper. Do the same thing. I put my fingernail in that hole. So we're going to go right on the opposite side of the 4, right there in that line, and go all the way down. And then we're going to go to the 8, and same thing. Right on this side of the 8, so left one line over from 8, score all the way down. Can you see that? Now we have a score line here, we have a score line here, and a score line here. So what we are going to do is we are going to fold that up to make that a really good crease. Fold these over. Let's just get all of our lines really good where we can see them. Okay, so now you are going to cut this section out completely to start with, and you need to go on this side of the score lines to the left of the score line where you're not left with like that little bubble. Sorry about my dog. He's over there in his kennel, and every once in a while he needs a good shake. Let's see there, I just cut along that line, and when I came up to this one, I cut on the top of the score line, so we do not have this little ridge right here. Save this piece because we are going to be using this. Now you're going to go over to this one. Same thing, you're going to cut on the right side of your score line this time, right up to that point there. And now you can come in with the paper cutter and mark at this. You can mark it with a pencil if you would like. You know what, just for tutorial's sake, I will mark it with a pencil. But usually we just freehand a triangle. But here, we can do that. Okay. So now this flap can come up. Actually, we might need to take a little bit more off, but that flap can come up there. And this flap, I think we are just going to make a tuck here instead of having it flip down like the other one, and just have a flip here and a flip here. Maybe we'll put one up here for this one. You never know, we might go crazy. So let's trim this a little bit more, just where there's a little bit more allowance. I'm just coming in, doing like a little shading. So now let's close her up and see how she does. Yep. Now if you want to close it this way, you can do it that way. See how there is this little gap here? I did that so where when I'm folding stuff up, it's not going to be interfering with this center little book that we're putting in here. I did that for a reason, but if that gap annoys you, don't do that little 1/16 of an inch over. So now we're going to come back to that piece that we cut off, and we're going to trim those score lines off of this. You could do this with your paper cutter if you want. I just can't be bothered to pull it over here. And then I'm going to get my corner rounder, and on 2 of the corners I'm going to do just circles, and then on the other side I'm going to do a scalloped edge. Oh no, it's fine, we can still use it. We can still use it. Can we get a scalloped edge out of this one? No. Okay, it's fine. We should have looked at the direction that our paper was going. We should have done our scalloped edge like this way. You're going to bring your scoreboard back in. I'm going to go up to the 1 inch, and then we're going to go to a 1/4 of an inch, which is right there. And since I do have this. No, I think it'll look fine. I think it'll be fine. I'm going to make a score line there at 1/4 of an inch. You can do a little bit more if you feel like you need to. But this, we are going to stick down right here. We need to round these corners. Okay, so now we're going to stick this down. Let me try to go right up to the edge without going over. And I don't go all the way down to the bottom, or you would have to trim that. So we are going to go right there. And now we're going to come in with a brand new piece of cardstock. And we're going to cut this a little bit less than 8. So we are going to use this to back all of our little sections that are white. So I'm going to go to like an 1/8 less than 8. And then this here, each of our sections are a little less than 4. So we are going to cut our first one like 1 line less than the 4. And let's just see, because this middle panel is going to be slightly bigger than your 2 end panels. Oh, we're going to need to take off like a smidgen more. Yeah, we need to take off a smidgen at the top and a smidgen on the side. So we're going to cut this one down just a smidge as well, where it'll be the same height. Then we're going to go to 3 7/8 again, because our other side panel should be that same size. And see, now that seam from this little flap that we put on here is going to be covered by this, and it's also going to reinforce it a little bit more. There's not a ton of paper waste in this project, and you can do it with 2 pieces of 12 by 12 and a few scraps and a few stickers, and do this in any theme you want. And before we glue this down, we need to put on this panel, and I need to round this corner up here. And actually, I want to round all the corners because I just don't like square corners. As Julie from Camila Craft Design says, they're just a fence. Well, my camera stopped recording, but the only thing you missed was me sticking down those 3 red sheets of paper. So now we are going to go to this pocket over here. And like the other one, you could leave this a little flap, but I didn't like the way that like it had to be like upside down. So we are going to just do a pocket here. Oh dang, we were going to do a flap here. Oh well, I guess this one doesn't get a second flap. That's fine. If we have a big enough scrap to go here, that one does go, but I do not like that paper with this. I think I want it to go this way. So before we put this on, we need to scallop the bottom edge so it matches our paper. I'm gonna go ahead and just scallop all the way around so it matches. Try to get an equal spacing between your scallops and stick that all the way down. Now I'm going to go to my paper scraps, and I've got these 2 here. I think I want to make my pocket here out of this. I think I like it going that way there. Scraps together, make sure that they are lined up. We're going to go to that 3 7/8 again. And we are going to round the corners on these here. And you don't have to do all 4 corners, but I always end up doing all 4 corners. My pockets just a little bit up where we see a row of those diamonds. So we have diamonds, hearts, and then diamonds, the checkered, and then the heart, like that. I think that's how we're gonna do it. So we're going to stick these together first. I just line them up in my fingers and then just spread them apart, and where they would be touching, put a piece of glue there and a little piece of glue there. And then I'm going to put a line of glue all the way down, all the way across, and then up. So this top pocket I'm not going to close because I want it to have the full depth, because these pockets are not very deep at all. So line it up with the top of those triangles, or those diamonds. Not triangles. Sorry if you can hear my children downstairs. They are playing, oh gosh, what are they playing? Mousetrap with their dad. Oh gosh, that turned out crooked. Do you see how crooked that is? Oh well, it's on there now, bud. To make our little booklet on the inside, I do want to use cardstock and not a thinner piece of paper like this here. So let's see, I'm like, oh, let's see what would look good in these backgrounds. Could do a little poker book, since this is card themed. Oh, but that's the back side. Let's see. No, I want that one. We could always back the back of our booklet. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. So it is up to you how high your booklet comes up. I already have some pages that were scraps that I just need to trim down a little bit. So I'm gonna make this 1/4 of an inch taller than these pages right here, just to make my life easier. All right, now we are going to take our little booklet, fold it in half. Is it gonna fit right there? No, we need to trim it down a little. That's gonna work. And I think this time I'm gonna have my booklet open this way instead of the opposite way. And we are just going to have enough room for like a little label up here. Okay, so before I stick this down, I'm actually going to measure out some panels to cover this. Okay, so that will tuck in there. So I think we are going to mat like this. Oh, let's round all of our corners first. I'm gonna go with the small corner rounder for this one. And you could cut your paper the exact same size where there wasn't a gap all the way around, but I like the way that looks. So that's what I'm doing. And don't go right up to your seam because it will not be able to fold properly. Okay, so now I need to decide what other pages I'm going to put in this. I'm going to throw in this page that we used here just because it correlates. So we're going to fold that in half. I've got a couple more strips of that lined paper. So I'm going to do one just in half. And like the other one, I'm going to do a little zigzag with it. We're gonna go that way and then in half. Like that there. And let's do one more fun page. Oh yeah. That's gonna look cool. Okay. I'm going to scallop the edge of this one just because it's a cool piece of paper. So now we're gonna arrange our pages. We're gonna end up with, this was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. That's an odd number, I'm fine with it. You can choose to put as many pieces of paper as you want in your little booklet, but I wouldn't do a ton because this still needs to close. So we are going to stop here at 7. So I'm going to do this cool piece of vellum first, and I think I want this first piece of lined paper. I actually want it to go this way. Let me fold this the opposite way because I want to be able to see these lines. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. And then we're going to do a piece of the brown. I'm going to bring in our diamond scrap, a piece of the brown. Let's do this lined. And then you know what? We have this. Let's fold that in half and make that our signature, our center signature. You know what? I'm going to fold it here, where just those coffee cups are on that side, and you have this full side over here to do your journaling. I like that. And then I'm going to put it to where there's 1/8 of an inch here and 1/8 of an inch here. Before we do our poking, I'm gonna get a needle ready really fast. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 lengths of this, and we're going to do just a regular binding stitch like we usually do. If you do not want to bother with binding this in, you could staple this. This is such a small little booklet, you could totally get away with stapling. Where's my crease? Right there. Make sure we have our little allowance. I am holding it with my fingers spread apart. We're gonna go about middle. We are not being perfectionist. Go enough to catch that bottom paper, so we're gonna go a little bit further in than we usually would. And then the same thing at the top, because our paper is a little bit more close to the top. We're gonna go try to be as even as possible right there. And then starting from the inside, pull through to where you have a couple of inches left over. Go to the top hole, pull through, and you're going to go down to your bottom hole. Hold this string out of your way. Look up out of your way. Do not go through your string. Through that hole again. Through your top hole. Whoop, don't pull your needle through. Again, through that center hole. Whoa, whoa, okay, I was like, what is going on? My needle has gone through a ring. That's a first. Back through that center hole. And I always like to capture that string. You make sure our knot doesn't pull through and it's not just playing around. Pull it good and tight. We're gonna do that. And there you go. There is your little booklet, and now we are going to glue this in. I know that sounds scary. We just created this cute little book, and now we're going to glue it in. But before we do, we need to make sure that everything can close up over it, and it can. See how I am leaving a gap all the way around, and we're not going all the way down to the bottom, because then this will not be able to go up. So leave yourself a gap here and leave yourself a gap on either side. All right, stick her down. We are going to flip up to that last page. And we're going to just press. Make sure we get it nice and in there. Now look at there. So now we have our little booklet. Okay, let's move on to our last blank panel. Ow, see, I just stuck myself again with this thing. They're dangerous. We're going to cover this panel here. I think I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other one, and I just took one of these sheets here and stuck it on. We are going to lose a little bit at the top, so let me trim that down. As a pocket, so we're just going to go around the edge. And go right there. And now we need to put our pocket here. I think I'm going to go with this here. Oh, I wish that was the other way. You know what, we could do that and match. I don't like that either. What do we want to do? We could use that again and make it a pocket. It is the perfect size. Let's just do that, and then we'll decorate. I think we did this size corner. It's going to round all the way around. And we're going to do a tiny little finger pull on this one, so we go about middle. Go around your 3 edges. I'm trying to use up scraps instead of creating more. Okay, I've cut down our 2 frames. Do we want it like that? Or do we want it like that? I don't know if I like this frame. I don't know if I like that one. Do we like that one better? Nope. Okay, I don't like this frame. We're gonna switch it out for this one. And it has hearts on it. You know what? Let's do our journaling card this way for this one because there is more room, and we'll do it that way for that one. We're just gonna do that. So let's stick this down. Now you can stick it anywhere you want. I'm going to stick it more up towards the top. And then we'll decorate around this. I'm gonna stick this one. I need to refill my glue. How much glue do y'all go through? I mean, I know that mine is a little skewed because I make crafts for a living, but I go through about 12 ounces of glue a month. And sometimes more. And that gets expensive. Because I think it's the 16 ounce of this, and I want to say it's like $30 something. And then I just refill the same one over and over. And we are coming together. Look at that. That's all we're going to do for the inside. Now we're going to start working on these other flaps here. So we are going to start closing her up. So see, now we need to do something with these 2 here. On the other one, oh, see, ooh, we can use this paper because it's going this way, but that's going to be black on black. I do not care. I want a pocket out of this. So I did my pocket down to 1.5 inches, and I am going to use my smallest little corner rounder because it's going to be butting up against a corner that is rounded. So we're just going to round all of them. Let's not finally get a chance to use this paper and then do it the wrong way. And let's do a little notch in this one too, since it is black on black paper. Make a notch, or we make sure that we can see that this is a pocket. Oh, we could have done that, and that would have stood out a lot more. We could still do it. That looks better. That right there. Making sure we're not exceeding that edge. So now we have our pocket here. We've had the dog, children, now the train. That's okay. We're gonna keep on going. If not, I will be up all night long playing with y'all. Downstairs, I do not even notice the train. Don't even notice. Up here, you can hear it so much better. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. And it's like all calling to each other. The diamonds are calling here. The hearts are calling here. All of it is going together. I love it. I do wish we would have remembered to put another flap like this one here, but it's okay. It's all right. This one will just have one less interest. So I'm going to bring this scrap over here, and I'm going to bring it where there is about the same amount on either side. Again, so sorry about that train. I'm going to put the corner right there. Give us a light guideline. We need to round this corner. And I'm not going to do it all the way down. I'm going to do it a little bit up from it just because I like the way that looks better. And there we go. There's another extra little tuck, and then it covers up some of that paper, breaks it up a little. So sorry if things look different. My camera died. We had to switch out the battery. So I cut another piece of that vellum down. I did put a little pull right here, and we are going to back this panel here. That is that panel with this vellum. I don't know if I'm going to regret this decision. We will find out, but you will be able to see whatever tag we put inside. So on vellum, I put a little bit thicker of glue. Sometimes it doesn't want to grab. And I think I want to have this go inside of it, and then we're going to decorate it. So I'm going to cut that down to probably about 3 inches. Yeah, now that's gonna fit down in there. And I'm actually going to bring in my tag punch, and even if this is bigger than the 2.5 inches, as long as you get it equal, you can still do a tag out of it. And you might just have to do a little trimming. So let's just meet that curve. I have this big tag, and he has hearts on his clothes, and this looks like the pattern that is on the inside, so we are going to use this. This is going to be our pocket. So we are going to round the corners. I wanted to put a tag just like the other one, and that tag is just gonna fit, I think. And this one I already had made for an Alice in Wonderland journal, and it has a hole in it. We are going to cover that up. But it's already so pretty, look at it. And then you can do whatever you want to the back. We're gonna have to decorate it because of the hole. So let's get this down. You know what, let's do a finger pull on this one as well. That right there. And see, this is a journaling card, but we are going to use it as a pocket. I can hear them downstairs playing. It is the baby's bedtime, sir. You're my baby. Can y'all hear him? All right, where it is not going to come up on that edge, I am going to lay it flat. I'm going to stick it down all the way around. Yes. Okay, let's see if this will go in. Oh yeah, it'll still go in. Awesome. All right, so we have pretty much the base down. Now I need to decide if I want a black panel or a red panel here. I think I want a red. Do we have any red scraps? We do. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to go close the door. All right, I went and shut the door where there's not so much chaos. I cut down this panel, and then I realized we don't even know what our like little saying is gonna be for this. So let's bring out our ephemera pack. I know I got this off of either Temu or Amazon, but I can't remember which one. I bet you it was probably Temu, but if you can find this somewhere else, I bet you can. I think I've finally made a decision. I'm going to put this ticket on here and put some hearts around it. That's gonna be my label for this one. Now comes the fun part. We need to start decorating. So I'm going to start bringing in some hearts and placing them around. I want one here. This one has a little gouge out of it, but we're going to layer up and cover that. So I'm going to do this one. Actually, can we tuck it in the pocket? Yes, let's do that. Tuck it in the pocket. You never knew that there was an imperfection on that one. I'm going to stick with the black ones because of that red paper. Another train decided to come by, so I went ahead and finished off the hearts for this one here, and I patched the hole that was in this card here with a big heart and a key, and then I just sunk a heart down into my pocket, and I like the way it's just poking up right there. So we are going to nestle this here, so that we are going to scooch down just where those ribbons are going to be poking out of there, and it's not going to get lost in this pocket because those ribbons will not let it go any further. But we are so close to being done with this. Let's decorate this one. So I think I want my rabbit on this one, and these, they're almost like they're fabric, but they're not. They've got like a little bit of texture to them. is we're just going to simply put our rabbit right here. And I think we're going to do a couple of hearts on this as well, because why not? And there we go. Let's not do any more than that. Actually, we need one little black heart. One little black heart right here. Yes. That has like a bit of paper hanging off of it. There. And there we go. So all that tag needs is some ribbon, and look, we can see our bunny and our hearts through it. Love it. And so right here I am going to do a little feature. I was going to do it with a big red heart, and we have used up all of our red hearts. I want to attach this heart with the little flap just like I did the other one. So I'm going to show you how I did that, and we literally just used a scratch piece of paper. I'm going to cut it down in kind of a triangle, maybe a smaller triangle than that. Triangle about that big. And then you are going to fold your point down. Let's see if that's going to be too big. We're going to nestle it up to this here. Put it where we want it to go, like right here. Press it down, but then do not hold it there. You might glue it shut. Open it up and press with your finger on that little triangle. And no, it doesn't look the best. You could do a different shape, but we can always come in and cover it up with another heart underneath. See, that's not even going to cover it up. We'll cover it up with a sticker or something. Oh, because we were messing with it, we pulled it up. Sticker back down in that same spot. I kind of want her pointing at this book. Or do we want her on the inside of this book? No. Too much red. Do we want her here? No. Let's cut that tea time off. You can always use that somewhere else. Make it look like it was supposed to be. So I'm going to put the queen just barely underneath this pocket, and she's going to be pointing this way, and then poor Alice, cowering, is going to be on the inside of this book, hiding from the queen. I think that's funny. I like to hide little things like that. Wait, should I put her up here? Let's put her up here. Love it. I think I'm going to stick this here so you can journal on this, and we're going to put a few hearts around this as well. Let's bring in a few more hearts, not a ton. We're going a little heart crazy. And one there, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do for that. Just keep it simple. We have Alice here. We have our little heart flap that I am not sure is going to stay. No, we're not. It's not staying. Let's see if we can get this up. Okay, we're gonna have to do some maintenance on this. All right, I've made a bigger panel this time. We're going to stick this to our heart. We have messed up our page a little bit, but I think it's going to be covered by our sticker. I did like cut down around the heart a little bit. I'm gonna have to cut off a little bit here. Oh, it's a lot easier with a circle. The heart's making it difficult. Don't they always though? Doesn't your heart always make it more difficult than it has to be? So we need to be, I think, right here. And then we're going to have to put glue on the back of this sticker, because it's going to lose some of its stickums. let's move down here. I want Weird Alice poking out of here, so when there's nothing in this pocket, you see Weird Tall Alice. Weird Tall Alice. And then I'm gonna put the We're All Mad here. Sticking out as well. Okay, so that's gonna look like part of that pocket, just stuff spilling out of it. We need something here. Open this up, get it out of our way. We can line this up. Okay, I'm going to simply just put some hearts around that to decorate and then leave it there. This here, let's see if we can close it now. Oh, there's some things happening. Okay, let's see if we can disguise it at all with this. These were supposed to be nail art. I wonder, yeah, let's just put some cards kind of falling out of this heart. These guys are boo-boo a little bit. Oh, these are very hard to get off. Night dude right there, just to make it look like we did this on purpose. Totally did that on purpose. I'm gonna put another card right there because that's bugging me. Let's make it a black one. There are no mistakes, right? Just happy accidents. There we go. I like that better. Yeah. Okay. And if you didn't like that, you could always back your heart. But you would have to trim off a little bit of this corner, or it wouldn't push it off. Let's do that. All right, let's put a little red heart. Oh, I just collapsed her head. Try and get her head to unstick. No, no, that Alice is no more. Okay, we're gonna stick the little bitty queen right here. We need a few more hearts. I know we have gone heart crazy, but we need a few more. We're gonna put one here. And we've got a few little ones left. Let's do one there. I'm just going to, whatever hearts I have left, I'm going to just scatter around and I will bring y'all back when I'm done. I think I'm about done messing around. I scattered all the little hearts that I have left. And we put a bunny right there. Did I add anything else? I think that was it. And so now we're going to start tucking in some tags and stuff. So let's just see what we can get here. All right, I messed around with my cards and stuff off camera because it was gonna take me way too long to film all of that. So I did a little frame here. I backed this with some graphing paper, so you would be able to journal on that. Put a little Humpty Dumpty there. We put our playing cards here with a little sticker of the queen. Down here we have a sticker of the rabbit, a little card here, a little tag. We have a sticker here. This is a tag you could journal on, and then this one here as well. And then of course you have your journaling spots up here too. We put the Mad Hatter here. We have our big tag here, and then our big tag on the front. So I want to put some ribbon on this up here. So let's figure out what we want to do for the spine of this one and the closure. I think I want to do this beautiful crimson. So let's do that really fast. So we need about that much of the black. Let's see how much we need of this crimson. That's what my son used to call Christmas, was crimson. Say Merry Crimson. Oh, let's go back to the sweet days where they didn't say words right and they loved us. Right now, my 3-year-old is in the throes of the terrible threes, and he is my daily bully, I tell you what. So I want this about right here because I want it to not cover up my bunny. And I want my tie to be about middle. So about right there. I am going to see if I can find a clip in this mess. And we are going to clip this right there, just where we don't lose it. And I'm going to come in with some fabric tack and we're going to put it on this here. Let's move out all of our stickers and stuff. Our desk is a wreck. Just trying to get you straight. I'm going to use my grid underneath. Line it up with a line. Get my book. Try to put that right on the crease. About right there. I'm going to unclip that. And we are going to open up this cover, smush her down, and see what we got. I'm going to need a little bit more glue. I'm going to at least stick down the edges here. Fabric tack makes me feel like it's really good and on there. Just press down really good. And there we go. How did we end up not doing our binding the correct way? Okay, let's tie a knot and see if we did this too short. Oh, we should have done it a little bit longer. It's going to be a small bow. That's all right. It's a small journal. There we go. Oh, actually, I like that quaint little bow. Okay, so let's do some ribbon up here. We are going to get this done before our battery dies again, I promise you. Let's get our little ribbons on this where we can show our final product, shall we? It's gonna go in our inside pocket. Nestle down just enough. So you can't even see what our title would have been anyways. Let's untie this. This here needs a hole punch and a ribbon. Let's use our small hole punch. Can't believe I actually got that in there and I wasn't even really looking because the hole was covered. Let's trim that a little. Trimmed it a little too much, but it's okay. We still have a little bit of something. Okay. Oh, and we have this one here. If your ribbon is too thick to tie a knot in, do this little trick. And just get another piece of ribbon and just tie it around the base. And unless someone's getting crazy with your tag, you should be fine. We actually have one more tag we're going to do. The black and the lace. Yes, alrighty. So let's see what we got here. So act like we are all tied up. We have our tag here with our little spots to add extras. We come here and we have tags to journal on here, a spot to journal here, a big tag here with our bunny on it, and the entire back is free to decorate or to journal on. We have a little sticker here you can add where you want to. Our little heart detail that was a difficult make, but we got it done. Flip up here, and we have another tag to journal on. A few more extra tags here. And here we have another sticker, some little playing cards, flip down, another sticker, a tag, a little playing card. I don't know what you'd call that. We can journal here. We have our little booklet that we made. And that is it. So let's close her up and call her done. I hope that you enjoyed this little make with me. I know it was kind of all over the place in some spots, but sometimes we don't know what we're doing. How can we tell you what we're doing if we don't even know what we're doing? So sometimes we just gotta pause. Oh, we should have made that a little bit longer. Dadgummit. Oh well, that is what we've got. Okay, let's look at our 2 examples. I absolutely love these. I want to make more in some different themes. I can see these working for so many different things. I will say I do like the binding on this one better. Even though that crimson looks absolutely beautiful, I just like this one. I like the little balls on it. It's fun. But there we go. There are 2 examples of how you could use this little folio to decorate for Alice, and of course you could decorate on the back as well. Here is 2 completed folios. One I did as my example and one we created together. I hope that you enjoyed playing with some Alice in Wonderland paper today, and I will see y'all in the next one very soon, guys. Bye.